Hey guys, Chris again from ClassicVWBugs.com, and I got another special guest on today for Show Us Your Dub. I'm with Richard Brodeur from Brentwood, Tennessee, and he's got a 1965 Sunroof Beetle that he restored in his garage, nut and bolt. And he reached out to me, and I said, yeah, I got to check this car out. I had the luxury of actually meeting Rich about 4 years ago. He actually stopped into my shop to say hello. And took some pictures together, and we talked shop, we talked dubs, and I believe you were in the beginning of showing of restoring your bug, right, Rich?
That's correct. The whole thing started when I bought. This is my actually my second Volkswagen, my first bug. I've been my entire life restoring Corvettes, and I just always loved Volkswagens. And I came across this particular Volkswagen. It was a sunroof car. Okay. Relatively rust-free. Someone had brought it in from California, and I thought it was good enough. But then when I started looking at it, I said, "No, it's not quite good enough." So I tore it all apart and started from there.
No way.
Yeah, yes. So it took me about 2 years, just working on it as I felt I had time to work on it.
Okay.
Pulled the body off the pan. Replace the pans.
Wow.
I did a little bit different than what you do. And that is, I wanted a modified Volkswagen.
Okay.
Like I say, I do Volkswagens. I am heavily involved in the NCRS, the National Corvette Restore Society.
Oh, nice.
I judge there. Bloomington Gold, I judge there. So everything I judge is all the correct nut, correct bolt. Everything has to be correct.
Very cool.
For this car, I thought I'd go off a 90-degree angle and just do it the way I wanted to do it.
Awesome. Yeah. Sometimes that's the best way. You just feel more comfortable. It's less stress. It's less hassle. And, whatever floats your fancy, and that's your product. That's what's great about that.
Yes. It came up very well, I must say. I was very proud of the results. I really appreciate, as you mentioned, your help.
Very cool.
One of the big decisions on the car, besides the outside color, was of course the interior. And I would have to say that I learned 90% of what I know about Volkswagens, and I think I've watched every one of your videos 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
I loved the Valone interior, and I really wanted to put the red interior in your car, in this car here.
Okay.
But everybody told me that I had very bad taste in colors. So I actually went to your shop to convince you that this car deserved your red interior. And you convinced me that it needed a different color.
Okay.
And I went with your decision, and it was the best decision ever. It really turned out.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see it, man. I mean, that's really, really cool. I mean, just from here, just from the distance now, the car looks awesome. What color did you choose for the exterior?
It's a color which is an offshoot of a 70 bus color, a blue.
Oh, okay.
And I knew it. Up to now, I'll remember in a second what the actual color is. But it's also, I believe, a mixture of that and a Toyota color. So it's sort of a custom blend of colors. And of course, I did a lot of things. You can see the car. I lowered it. I narrowed the beam. I put a different engine in it. And so it's a bit of a hot rod, and it's very, very quick for a Volkswagen.
Oh.
So,
what kind of engine you have in there?
It's a 1776, and I can walk around and show you a bit of the engine.
Yeah, sure.
Come across here.
Yeah, so that blue looks very conducive to what was offered in the 70s for sure.
Yep. And I don't know if you can see the engine. There we go.
There you go.
And
wow, that's a work of art, man.
And again, it's my second Volkswagen motor. I have another Volkswagen, which is a Dune buggy, which I bought, which had a blown motor. And I got into Volkswagens because I've always worked on small block Chevys. Matter of fact, there's one sitting over there ready to go into a car. And I'd never done a Volkswagen motor. So it was a new challenge, and I really got into it. So now I've also bought a 56 oval project car, which is sitting in the upstairs garage.
Good for you.
So I'm heavily into Volkswagens all of a sudden.
Wow. That looks really cool. So you did the motor build yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I also put what they call the freeway flyer
Oh,
transmission in the
that's
car.
good.
So I
Okay.
have an overdrive fourth gear.
Uh-huh.
And that was done by a local shop here in the Nashville area. Billy Fegan, who runs a garage called Rusty Bottom Garage in Smyrna, Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
And he did a great job of helping me with the transmission. I didn't do that. And also he narrowed the beam. I put disc brakes on it. And we also put the 2.5-inch lowered spindles on it to give it the lower look.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's all that. The other thing that I'm proud of is because it had the shaved fenders,
Uh-huh.
and I'm looking at the video here, it didn't have a place for the directional lights. So I put them right here behind the vents.
I was gonna say, yeah, I saw something behind the horn grill there. Yeah, look at that.
Yes. And I built my own frame. Those are actually LED marker lights off a trailer truck.
Wow.
So, and I also, I also did things very clean if I could.
No question. So that's some nice paint you got there in the gas tank. What'd you paint that with?
Just an epoxy.
Oh, nice. That looks
Yes.
good. It's like got like a nice mirror finish to it in the front
It
there.
really does. And I've seen Volkswagens that people have paid a lot of money to have them restored. And the trunk area is nothing compared to what I did on this car here.
You did a fabulous job, man. That looks excellent. For bringing it in your garage, that's really good.
Yeah. And here we'll give you a quick view of the interior.
Nice.
When I purchased this car, it did not have any interior at all. It was totally gutted. The seat frames were missing, the bows were missing. I mean, it had nothing at all in this car. So I went off and did your Valone interior, and it came out great.
Oh, that looks good. Well, you got some beige tweed there?
Yes, I do. If I can get back a little further for you to see it. And it has the tweed headliner, and that headliner actually I did that in the garage too. That came out great.
That came out great. They're so good to work with, those headliners. They're very forgiving, and you don't have to heat them up like you do vinyl. And I know they're a little more money, but they just look the part. I just feel they look so nice.
The interior of the car, when you look at it, you say, what, it's a couple $100 more, and it comes out looking $1 million better.
Yeah, and very true there. And just her material. This is from Sofine, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, I mean, her material. She put some extra layer of padding even behind the vinyl, on the backrest and on the bottom rest, and her sewing it's tight. I mean, look how tight it is. You don't have a wrinkle on them. Yep.
It came out fantastic. And let me pull this seat back here. The things I added is I found the correct radio that's been converted over to new internal, so it can run. You can see it there. It plays AM, FM, and Bluetooth and everything.
Nice.
I got the steering wheel, and when I ordered it, it was funny that I ordered it when it was on sale, and I thought I wanted white, and then when it came in, it was ivory, and I was all upset.
Right.
I was ready to return it. Then I put it on the car and I says, my gosh, that's perfect. I need the ivory.
Yeah.
So,
very nice. That's good stuff. And you got a little the sports shifter there, right?
Yeah, the short shifter. I like the short shifter. It just it's really a short throw between gears. So it's a lot of fun to roll through the gears on this.
Very cool.
And the back again just turned out very well. I think that every vendor that I went through was based on your recommendation, whether it be the floor pan, whether it be the gasket here for the rear window, which the first gasket I had was very, very tight. And every time you moved it, it would pop off a corner.
Yeah.
So this one here, it turned out perfectly well. The wiring, we did a lot of the wiring, put the pop-out windows in it.
Nice.
Choose these wheels. It just it's a fun car.
Now, is this is a body and chassis match on this car?
The chassis is correct, and the engine I think is a few numbers off. It's a 66 or 67 engine.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not correct. So because it wasn't 100% correct, it didn't bother me that much to modify it.
Right. Okay. Very sleek. I mean, the paint job looks really nice on it. I mean, you gutted that car and went down to metal, or?
Oh yeah, it was very much so. And the only places I had rust were near the Napoleon hat, in the front, and right behind the rear wheel, that section there. And I was able to weld that up right here in this garage,
Oh wow.
and replace it. So it just came out very well.
And you have a base coat clear coat on that, or is it just like
Yes,
a
it
one stage?
is.
Okay, it is. Yeah.
There's a base clear, and
Nice.
it's just I mean, there's a town not too far from Nashville called Leapers Fork, where all the big country western stars, they bought a lot of property out there, and we drove out there all summer, and we go places. And we can't even go where we're planning on going because people just crowd around the car. It just turned out so full. So, and there's, as you know, there's always a story people have about their Volkswagen they had sometime in their life.
Sure.
So
Very, very cool. I mean, that car just looks, it looks awesome, man. I mean, you did a fabulous job. And it screams bug at the same time, but you got that cow look on it, and I'm sure it's got some good giddy up and go, you
it
know.
does. And I should fire it up for you because does not sound like a Volkswagen.
That'd be cool. Yeah, if you want to start it up, that would be awesome. I'm
well,
sure everyone would love to hear that.
Now you're going to embarrass me. I hope the thing does start up because it's funny. Okay. In Nashville, we had 4-degree weather all last week, and today it's 70 degrees.
Wow.
So let's see. And also put an electric fuel pump in it.
Oh.
The other part, of course, is doing the sunroof, and I had to learn that again through your videos. Thankfully, you just put one out not too long ago on the sunroof.
Yep.
So,
yeah, so people were screaming for that because I showed the multi-piece, I've showed the rag top, convertible, and so everyone was like, what about the steel sunroof? And I'm like, all right, I finally got one in, and it was a '66, and so we decided to do that video, but. Very, very cool, man. I mean, that car looks very sleek. I mean, I got pictures from you of the restoration, and I'll throw those up too in this video to show everybody what you did. Yeah, man, good job. I mean, for doing it at home, you did a great job, and that's what's great about this hobby. I mean, at least the fact that you could watch videos on YouTube, you can learn and just start applying it to your hobby, to your bug that you bought. It's really cool.
Like I say, I learned so much from your videos that it inspired me to go out and when I found that 56 oval, it was also it's a ragtop car.
Oh, nice.
That I said, I've got to have it. So
and is that a stock car too, or like numbers matching, or are you gonna?
No, that one there is I need to do a lot of work on that car.
Okay.
That one has I think it's a 64 pan.
Oh, okay.
So it's not anything close to numbers matching. I need to do some cutting and some welding in the back apron.
Okay.
So there's a lot of work that has to be done on that. So, and you've got me so tied around, I need to make sure I keep the H pattern back here on the apron of the 56.
Yep. So, okay, cool. And you quickly, you have the Dune buggy. Did you want to quickly show that?
Oh, sure. I can show that. This was my first effort in the Volkswagen, and I had to pull that engine apart as well. When I went and found this, it was the daughter of the original owner who had this bug, and they used it, and they towed it behind a motorhome for their little car to drive around in when they were wherever they were. And he tried to change the carburetor and dropped a few nuts and bolts down the intake and didn't do the engine very much good.
Oh, wow.
So I was able to pull that apart, and outside of the motor on this and a lot of cleanup, it's pretty much the way it was when I got it.
Wow, look at that.
It's vintage, the tuck and roll.
Yeah, look at that.
And people like it's an old bus shifter. It's been bent to fit.
Sure.
And it has the Keystone mags on it.
Nice.
So if I'm focusing correctly on that, there we go.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a nice little bug. It's fun to drive. Uh, I also have a Harley, and my wife doesn't want to get on the bike anymore, but she'll climb into this, and we go off. And what's nice about this particular car here is I go to let's say a gas station or any place, and a young 7 or 8 year old kid comes by and says, "Sure, jump in." Get them excited about the car hobby in the
Hell
future.
yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool, man. That's a
So,
great job you did there, man. I'm telling you, hats off to you. You did a phenomenal job on these two cars. I mean,
well,
very, very good, and I'm so much looking forward to seeing the 56 and
well,
seeing how you come out with that. Are you gonna hop it up as well?
you know, I've been looking into putting a Tesla electric motor in it
Ah, look at you. All right.
because I've never done an electric car. I mean, the day you stop learning is the day you die. I always say.
Very good.
So,
That's good. Yeah. Well,
uh,
that's something that people have been asking me to get into. And, those electric guys are out in California and, they're doing electric Beetle conversions out there and super busy, I hear. And I do feel it's the future. I think a lot of folks are going to transition into that. And even some young folks I'm hearing about, they just want a vintage car, but they want electric. They don't want the carbureted stuff. I mean, it's kind of old school for them. So be interesting to see. I'd like to get into that, soon. Uh, but
well,
listen, this has been great, man. I mean, I love seeing the car. It's got a nice, clean garage there too. That's awesome. And I like that kind of craftsmanship, man. Is very, very well put together. And I definitely see you have an eye for detail. So
I get into the detail. Matter of fact, you mentioned the garage. My wife knew I was crazy when I started wallpapering the garage.
that's awesome. That is
So,
awesome. And then you also told me real quick that you had RC stuff too, because I've gotten back
oh,
into RC
I
and
I actually not brought it out for you.
oh nice.
In the original boxes, even.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, that's
If
my
I
other channel I got, Vallone's RC Hobby. That's one I've been doing on my second channel and between this channel and that one. So very
you
cool. Look at
probably you
that.
probably haven't seen a controller like that in 100 years.
Long time. I actually have a couple of them,
Does it?
It's yeah, and I have the
And the
Falcon as well.
battery charger.
Yeah, those are like obsolete. They tell you even not to use those anymore.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, those trickle chargers are not the greatest, but I still have them, and
Well,
it's look at that, man. Oh, very cool. Well, Rich,
so
this has been awesome, man, and I really appreciate you coming on the show. And hats off to you with that car. And I hope I get to see you and on the fall cruise. That would be awesome.
we were talking about driving up there for it,
Uh-huh.
and the question comes down: should I drive the bug? Because I built it to be a driver,
Oh, good. Okay.
not to be a trailer queen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and I drive it everywhere, and so I've got a lot of miles on it already.
Mhm.
So the question is, but to New York, it may be a trailer drive.
Nice. Well, I'm telling you, that would be awesome to have you on the cruise. If anybody doesn't know, I do a fall foliage cruise every year with all vintage air-cooled VWs, buses, Gias, anything air-cooled, really. Even Porsches come along, and I get people all over the country that come to our shop annually in October, and we do a 60-mile run through the Hudson Valley of New York. And we get a great crowd, and we do a nice food spread and such. Last year was a little low key because of the COVID. Hopefully this year things start to change and we can open all that back up again. But listen, Rich, thanks again for coming on the show. Awesome stuff, and I hope to see you in October.
I'd love to be there. And just in closing, I just want to let everybody know, when I dropped into your shop a few years ago, you and your father were the most hospitable people I could meet. You were very helpful in me picking out colors and the patterns and everything. And I applied everything I learned from your videos and from that visit on building this bug. And it turned out great. Thank you.
Rich, I really appreciate that. That hits right at home here. That's what we're here for. And anytime, I tell people all the time, stop in. We get cappuccino going, we'll get espresso going. My dad might even throw a little sambuca in there for you, and
Oh, all
and
right.
and we can sit and we can talk shop and talk bugs. I mean, this is what we're all about. So, but awesome job, Rich. I'm so glad to talk to you again and see your face again. You know, it's been 4 years.
It
So,
has. We'll have to make sure it doesn't take another 4 years.
well, hopefully I see you sooner. I hopefully see you in October, man. But excellent stuff.
All right.
Well, you did great.
Have a good day.
All right, thanks, guys. And if anyone wants to see Rich, can anybody see you on Facebook or something? Or?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
As Richard Brodeur. I'm in Brentwood, Tennessee.
Excellent. Okay, very cool, guys. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.